and histamines. That's really where we start this conversation about mast cell. It's quite an interesting topic because, like for me, it's 10 p.m. All right. Well, thanks for joining us. Welcome. How's the weather there? It's like 68 degrees. I'm in New York. New York. I'm a New Yorker. Hi, Daisy. Thanks for the repost. I appreciate that a lot. Lots of taps, lots of reposting, lots of comments. Free love. That's all you need. That gets us where we need to be. So you wandered into, hey, hi, BF. Hey, BF Zach. Nice to see you. Thanks for the repost. I really appreciate it. Excuse me. All right, so there's no universally agreed upon like mast cell food list, right? And this point is important because I want to keep repeating it. There's really no single scientifically established food list to say, oh, you're diagnosed with mast cell activation syndrome. You have to just eat these foods. Now, we taught freezing. We're at the end of winter. Oh, yeah, which means it's coming this way. Thanks a lot. I can feel it. I see the leaves falling off the trees. I can feel it coming. It's going to be a fun fall. Although I love fall in New York. That's my favorite thing about New York is the change of seasons. I love that. Super hot, and then you can be 5 degrees. I know. Is it Lounsbury? What do we call you? I'm gonna just call you Barry. I don't really need. I'm not completely full on ready for winter, but I do like the change of seasons. So there are low histamine food lists, and we're gonna talk about that today. And high histamine foods, like believe it or not, avocados are a high histamine. That drives me crazy. But we're gonna begin with the strongest histamine patterns. So during like clinical experiments, the foods most commonly reduced first when somebody is diagnosed with a mast cell is aged, fermented, cured, smoked, and long stored foods, alcohol, and then questionable freshness. So somebody whose body reacts to food that has been stored long, like say you make rice, right? And many naturopaths will talk about this. Autoimmune compromised people, people who have mast cell, rice, tofu, chicken, anything like that. The minute it's cooked and then you put it, thank you for all the shares, Kimberly. The minute it's cooked and then you put it into a refrigerator, you leave it out, bacteria starts growing, right? It starts breaking down. So people who are sensitive to that will react. They'll have a reaction. So that lands on the list. Aged cheese, these kinds of things are going to give you reactions. We're going to talk about what does a reaction look like, all of the things. And I made a bunch of handouts for this. So if you saw my video in the profile, these handouts are here. Like the bucket. Where's my bucket? Of course I'm not going to have my bucket. The one I really, really wanted. Did I not print it? How's that possible? All right, well, when we come up to it, we'll talk about it. What? There's no way. I gotta have the bucket. The bucket was my favorite visual. Did you guys see it in the promo video? Let me see, give me 1 second. Bear with me for just a minute. I could have sworn I just had it in my hand. All right, well, you're not gonna see the bucket unless I get into it and we make a copy. Might be too hard to get my computer moving there. All right, so aged and fermented foods, aged cheeses, fermented vegetables, sauerkraut, kimchi, kombucha, kefir, yogurt, miso, tempeh, all of those kinds of foods where you're funny, Jose. Hey, Deresh. Nice to see you. Hi, Joni. Nice to see you. Thoughts on sourdough? Sourdough's great. In terms of mast cell, not sure how that fits in yet, but again, you're gonna see there's not, hi Luann, you're gonna see throughout this class that it just depends on your being. But in terms of just sourdough as something to eat, it's wonderful. Thank you, Kimberly. So fish with questionable freshness, histamine formation. Have you ever been in a restaurant, or has this ever happened to you? You go to a fish restaurant and somebody gets really sick, very faint, flush, passes out, sometimes, vomits, like right there. I worked in a fish restaurant years ago, and every once in a while, somebody would have that reaction to fish. And it wasn't that they were drinking too much alcohol, but alcohol is a high histamine. And then fish, like if you have, when you work in a restaurant, when it's full on service, yes, they have little refrigerators for things, but sometimes they'll leave something out by a warm stove, maybe they're, turning plates really fast. And if it's sitting out too long, somebody who's really sensitive, they have a glass of wine and then they have that fish that has a high histamine, you're cooked. You're gonna get like sweaty, dizzy, very faint. You could pass out. You know that flushed feeling that you get when you're sick? That's what happens to you. So keep that in mind. That reaction, when you see that happening to somebody, that is a high histamine reaction. That's what's happening to them. They cannot, their bodies cannot take what's happening, and they just fall out. So alcohol, wine, beer, champagne, cider, spirits, they may be problematic for several reasons, and we're going to talk about that. Look toward, you can do, yes, the combination, it can be very careful. If you are low, if you are reactive, good morning, twin, if you are reactive to foods, or you get hives, or you get a headache, or that you are sensitive or have mast cell, it is very important for you to not make that combination. When you go out to dinner, do not have any type of alcohol and then eat fish. Just saying. Your body will react and it isn't gonna be pretty. It ain't gonna be pretty, you know what I'm saying? All right, so this is like level 1, right? Level 2 is commonly reported triggers. This is how they figured out the list. If symptoms remain difficult despite the more obvious age-fermented, the secondary category can go symptomatically, like, oh, I ate this and I got hives. I ate this and my skin was really itchy. I got a rash. I ate this. I felt my gut all messed up. And you just add them to your list. Eventually, the most valuable food list should be your own, right? Whatever you are sensitive to is what mast cell is. So sometimes you'll get a doctor who'll give you a food sensitivity test, and those are super helpful. Hey, John, good morning. That's far more empowering than carrying a generic, internet printout, because those typically do not work for mast cell. You can start somewhere, but you can, you really need your own list, and it takes a little time to build it. And you're gonna go through different things. Hey, Young, nice to see you. So just keep that in mind. Now, secondly, and then let's what? Hold on a second. This got hold on, my peeps. I see what happened. We are going to skip out for just a second. Come with me. I see. I see why this is not making sense to me. Guys, I am going to, I will be right back. I don't know if you guys are going to stay, go, but I will be right back. Come with me, come with me. I just realized what is happening. You're making gooseberry sourdough? That sounds good. No, it's been happening since Thursday. Oh, you've been fighting it since Thursday? Oy. We're gonna let that print for a few minutes. Hey guys, sorry. I am, as soon as that's done, we'll go back and grab it. I'm gonna listen. Hi, Alicia, thank you so much. I was like, I'm reading this and I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't making sense to me. I spent so much time and I was reading it last night just to be completely, look, you can even get this, look. I'm gonna build a low histamine plate. Hi, twin. Look, see? When you build a low histamine plate, you're gonna do protein, carb. Here's the thing, everything, top 20 foods in 2 million combinations. You came home from Florida sick too? Oh, good to know. So, okay, let's talk about that. Cold and flu, right? Here's how you build your immune system. Good, good vitamin C fruits. You could take vitamin C too if you want. But also, what's really good, especially for the kids? Make sure that you guys are taking probiotics. Any type of gut healthy probiotic, because that will keep your gut. Remember, everything starts in the gut. All your sicknesses are starting in the gut, right? So make sure even the kids, make sure everybody's doing probiotics now for back to school, because they walk into that petri dish and you're done. You're done for. Yeah, I love that you're an herbalist. I love that. I don't know why your content doesn't come up as much as it used to. Let me see. I know I'm following you. I love that. Yeah, herbs are the best. I mean, I think if I start a garden at all, it's going to be an herb garden. It's still printing. I'm drinking my coffee. You know, you can get this cup now on the TikTok shop, in my shop, but I'm not allowed to say that, so. It's Callie Love. Hi, Callie, welcome in. Oh yeah, let me put that up for you guys. Good idea. Sorry, I want to take a minute because I want to show you my bucket. I made the cutest little bucket image, and I want you guys to see it. So it like really makes a lot of sense. So keep tapping and keep loving the live. It's free love. Oh, we lost a few fragments, of course. Of course we did. It's all right. We can do it. What do I eat now that I'm already sick? Well, what is it? Starve a cold, feed a fever. Isn't that how it goes? So I would do chicken broth, vitamin C, electrolytes, like I would do stuff like that. Hey, Anthony, nice to see you. Welcome in. I would do that. We're doing Mast Cell Activation Syndrome. It's where your body and your immune system are so overtaxed that foods that you eat that have high histamines kind of create like that allergy reaction, rashy, itchy. Your whole body's like just reacting to whatever you eat. It's like little tiny, you know, and it could be anything from brain fog to gut issues to a rash. I'm just listening to my printer, and when it's all printed, I'm gonna go grab the first half of this class, and we're really gonna talk about it. We have today, let's look at recipes. I gave you some recipes with low histamine foods, like a pear and blueberry quinoa bowl, breakfast bowl with coconut milk and an apple ginger breakfast compote. Ooh, let's make that. Want to make that today? Let's make that. I got an apple. I got some ginger. Let's make that one. Because apples are great. You know, remember what they say, apples a day keep the doctor away. I still hear it working in there. This is a really, you know, I like a recipe like this because when you make something like this, well, first of all, when you make something like this, I want to go here. Okay, hold on. I want to make this so that, you know, I would eat light, cracker, maybe something light, so that when you know, because your body, you don't want to eat a cheeseburger, you know, you want it, or like heavy foods, but you want to eat stuff, Tyler, for a fever, where you give your body an opportunity to heal itself, right? Your body's fighting, obviously, infection or something, right? So give it the opportunity and the space to heal. Because if you put too much heavy digesting needed foods, like that your body has to spend time digesting a lot, then it's taking away from healing the fever. You know, healing whatever's going on in you. Ooh, I gotta sharpen my knives. That knife won't even go through the apple. So I'm going to take the skin off. We're going to use a little maple syrup, a little ginger, a little filtered water. We're going to make a small compote. You know, this is a nice, it's a gentle way to add cooked fruit and soluble fiber. And you can use this, you can use, instead of an apple, you could use a pear. Hey, Galaxy, nice to meet you. All right. I'm just gonna take the core out. There you go. And you can eat this too. Hold on, I can't see what you said here. Well, it's reprinting the whole packet. Hi, Kimberly. Thank you. Thank you for lighting up the heart gallery. All right, so we're gonna chop this. Now, what I like about the apple, right, soluble fiber, you know, fruit, whatever, right? And then you're adding the ginger, which is anti-inflammatory. It helps heal the gut. Like, it's very soothing to the gut. But again, you have to, when you have mast cell, or if you think you have it, everything becomes trial and error. You can get rid of those top few foods, but at the end of the day, you have to, it's all trial and error. We're gonna do a little bit of water, just a little. I just put a little water in the pan. We're gonna add the apple and some grated ginger. Now, remember, mast cell, I would peel the ginger as needed. I wouldn't peel the ginger and then stick it in the fridge, because you don't want anything to be breaking down. But apple ginger, apple pear, this is a nice addition. And you could just eat this as a compote. You could put it on, I don't know, I would just eat it. I would eat this. You could maybe put it on another slice of fresh apple. You could put it on maybe a rice cake. Look, you could put it on top of oatmeal. So we're just gonna simmer this. Now, I'm gonna add a little bit of Ceylon cinnamon to this. Just a little. Again, great for blood sugar control, great for, and then the last thing we're gonna add to this pot is a speck of maple syrup, just a little, like a teaspoon, just to balance the spicy and give it a little, you know, balance the, did you see that? It was like a quarter teaspoon. It is so healing. And Dree, is it Dree or Drea? I like Vietnamese cinnamon because it's Christmas in a cup. So when I'm baking, I really like to use that. But for the most part, yeah, the Ceylon. And I've changed my mind since I've been doing, been on TikTok and teaching. Really, Ceylon cinnamon is it's so important to have it in your diet. If you like cinnamon, I would be using it every day. Oh my God, it's still printing. And I started printing this last night. I thought, oh, when I wake up in the morning, it'll be all ready. Hey, Nancy, good morning. Don't forget, guys, drop your heart me's when you get here. It really helps. Sharing, tapping, liking, comments, all great. All supportive of your favorite creators. Thank you. Let me go run and get the papers. I think we're done. Okay, now we're talking. Here we go. Here's my histamine bucket. This is what I want. I was like, what's going on? All right, look at this. This is your ebook. Oh my God, it took me a lot of time to research and get this done for you. This is in the recipe vault. You can download this, read it. I mean, there's handouts, papers. So if you have mast cell, this is a great guide for you to follow along and really understand. So it makes, so let's rewind. Mast cell is like, it's very unpredictable. You don't really know, right? A meal that seemed perfectly fine yesterday can land you upside down the next day. A hot shower after a stressful afternoon, a glass of wine, a fragrance, a restless night of sleep, anything. It's sort of like, oh, here, let me get the bucket. It's sort of like when you finally say to your body just finally goes, okay, I'm done. You're just gonna have to slow it down and figure yourself out because this isn't working, right? So look, you have infections and allergens, then you have hormonal shifts, medications, environmental toxins, stress and poor sleep, gut imbalance, and then you eat a high histamine food and bingo, you're done, you're toast. Your body says, okay, I've had enough of this. I'm not playing anymore, right? So this is a great little thing, and it's actually, you can see it on my profile. I put it in one of the videos promoting the class. What I like about this is it's sort of very easy, right? When you fill the bucket, right? Contributors that increase histamine load, the aged, fermented, or preserved foods, alcohol, leftovers. This is the one place where I'd say, I wouldn't do leftovers so much, right? Certain medications, pain relievers, antibiotics can do it. Gut imbalances like dysbiosis, SIBO, leaky gut, all of those things. So you get to a point where your body just says, my bucket's filled. I can't go anymore. You've got to make a change for me. So strategies that reduce the load. This is a great. You gotta get the booklet, the little ebook, and put this on your fridge. Eat fresh whole foods. Avoid or limit high histamine foods. Support healthy digestion. And again, when you heal your gut and you're eating protein, lean protein, high fiber, and what's the other one? Healthy fats. If at least one out of 3 meals, or two, then get to 2 out of 3 meals, then get to 1 day a week, 3 days a week, 4 days a week. Then the 1 day a week you want to go out on date night, or out with the girls, or out with the guys, or you have a wedding or a party. Your body can, be okay. But the rest of the time you have to care for your body so that you don't keel over, and wind up in a space like this. So the goal is that you keep your bucket from overflowing. Right? The histamine bucket. Is this backwards? Alt, please. Here you go, my friends. We can start here. Did it mirror yet? Yeah, there you go. There. Click it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. All right. This is one of the biggest reasons mast cell can feel so overwhelming, is there's no single perfect mast cell diet. You're not going to find it. And there's no universally accepted food list that every person with mast cell can eat, right? And this is what I've said. That's the philosophy for me, for my food philosophy is, I don't care, keto, caveman, I don't know, zone, all of these the grapefruit diet, the burger diet, the this diet, it worked great for me. Yeah, that might work great for you, but every human being functions differently. They have different ancestry, they have different food sensitivities, they have different cultural backgrounds, they have different, we have different health issues, food sensitivities, blood types, all of these things make a difference. And when we put all of that together, that's why no one diet works for anyone specifically. But when you make an outline of saying lean protein could be beans and rice. It doesn't have to be fish or chicken or, the animal proteins. You could do tempeh or tofu or even seitan if you don't have a gluten sensitivity. So remember that lean protein, a high quality carb, fiber, right? And then a healthy fat, or olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil, and then my holiday fats, bacon fat. Well, I would do coconut oil, beef tallow, then my holiday fats are, that's what I call them, bacon fat and chicken fat, specific to the holidays, right? You don't want to do them any other time. Well, unless you really love them and you're making a favorite soup, because it's soup season soon. So mast cells, not too much histamine. Histamine is one chemical messenger that's released by mast cells, but mast cells can release many other substances too. So the big part of why symptoms can be so widespread is because we don't know. So we look at the whole picture. Mast cells, what do they normally do? Histamine, and why the body actually needs histamine. Mast cells versus histamine intolerance, and then food and freshness. So we're going to go over these pretty extensively. We have a big list. So the intention of this guide for you guys is going to be not to create fear, but to create an understanding of how these foods work in your body and how do you figure out. Just go over TikTok, yes. So you even get a table of contents because there's a lot of information. There's let me see, I think I wrote like 40 chapters in this ebook. That's not true, 35 chapters. So mast cells are not bad cells. We have to have them. So mast cells are part of the immune system, right? Remember this. So already we're talking immune right out of the gate. And we know this because the immune system, where does it start? It starts in the gut. So when we work with our gut and we make sure our gut is healthy and feeling good, all of a sudden, hey twin, hey Sue, nice to see you, welcome in. I'm so glad you guys are here. We're talking Mast Cell Activation Syndrome today. So we need them, right? So they are part of the immune system. They're found throughout the body, and they are especially concentrated in the places where the body meets the outside world, meaning the skin, the respiratory tract, the digestive tract, connective tissue, blood vessels, and the areas surrounding the nerves. So when you think about that, right, they're the closest to the outside world and they're the most sensitive. So what do mast cells do? They're immune defense and allergic responses, right? So they help that, right? They keep everything normally working correctly. They're inflammatory signaling, blood vessel regulation and tissue repair, wounds healing, blood vessel regulation, inflammatory, I said those, and a communication with the nerves. So these are important cells. And it's amazing how incredibly intricate the human body is. I really kind of want to go back and study it. One of the best known, when mast cells are appropriately activated, they release these substances in the surrounding tissue. And one of the best known is histamine. So when your body's trying to regulate itself from, overstimulation of the immune system, the body releases these histamines. And these histamines are responsible for now calming and quelling all of those systems we just spoke about, which are pretty important. Immune, inflammation, wound healing, tissue repair, blood vessels, communicating with the nerves. funny, Jose. All right, so it's a member of a much larger chemical conversation. But I think one of the most important and the easiest for us to actually control, and when you control the histamines that are moving through your body and you calm them, that's the teacher in you, Kimberly. Let him yap. It keeps the chat scrolling, which we totally need. So guys, liking, chatting, tapping, all of those things, reposting, sharing. I don't think I shared. Let me share too. Hold on. I'm climbing up my ladder and we'll share. Hold on. Hello. Hello, my friends. Good morning, Robin. We're sharing. Let's share the live. We got to get it. We got to get this. We got to get us rolling. All right. So the next thing is, what happens when you have this mast cell activation? Okay, you're eating something, you breathe something in, you know, your body can take care of it, right? But at some point when we fill up that bucket, that histamine bucket, all of a sudden it isn't that easy. And your body's like, rah, 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 danger, Will Robinson, danger. I'm showing my age. I'm showing my age with that reference. But it's a pretty good reference, right? Remember that? Ooh, ooh, I tapped myself out. I shared my, sorry guys, I'm sharing the live. I forgot to share the live this morning. And people like when we share it. Hold, please, hold, please, hold, please. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do right now too? Hello, my friends. Give me this. Give me it. So many, so hold on, I wanna do something really quick. Okay, I think oh no, here, I'm gonna send it. Hi, sorry. Okay. I wanna see, can I? Is there another way? Oh yeah, here, I wanna see this. All right. Here we go. There we go. All right. If you're coming in here for the first time, I'm Chef Liz. I've been cooking for 40 years and I study the relationship of food and healing. Love organic food. This is the organic food movement. We have all things everywhere. We have the replays on YT. We are on Book of Face, IG, so we're everywhere. So share it out, let people know. And this is our Wednesday morning kitchen pharmacy class. This is my schedule. You can pick this schedule up by joining us here to get on the email list, or you can go to the Book of Face and download this. And every month it comes out, and the whole schedule is right here for the whole month. And everywhere we are on the socials is the organic food movement. So we're here for you. And then if you go to the LANK, the BIO, you will find this way. Oh, I gotta go this way because I'm mirrored. You will find Stan, my friend Stan, and there's a recipe vault in there. There's great ebooks. There's all the things just for you. All right. So imagine having a smoke alarm in your kitchen. And you want that alarm, if a fire starts, you want that alarm to react, right? Obviously. Immediately, so that you can get out, put the fire out, all those things. This is the image, right? So now imagine that same alarm begins sounding when you make toast, or when steam rises from a pot, or when you open an oven and you get that blast of heat, or maybe for no reason at all, the alarm just goes off. The problem is not that the alarm exists. The problem is that the alarm has become too easy to activate. This is what mast cell is, right? This is a way to understand mast cell activation. So when you release chemicals, because the mast cells exist throughout the body, the symptoms appear in several different body parts and systems all at once. So when that happens and your system has been overwhelmed and your bucket is getting really full, what happens is all of a sudden you might experience that flushing, you might experience itching, rashes, swelling, skin sensitivity, or unusual reactions to heat and temperature change. You might get a little flushed, you might get a little dizzy. All of those things are signs your body's going, hello, you're overwhelming me, my bucket is getting full, please, 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 calm me, do something to calm me. So look, we have this beautiful little compote. Let's get a potato masher. We'll just mash this up. Ooh, so nice. Oh my God, this smells so good. But see, something like this, and we're gonna talk about it, something like this now becomes, you know, a simple, like your body might be, so overwhelmed that to eat something so simple like this is actually good for you for a fever, for sure. Hold on, I'm gonna add just a pinch of water. I just added a little bit more water because I want this to get a little bit creamier. All right, let's put that right back on the fire just for a couple of minutes. I'm gonna put that all the way low. Okay. So that's in your skin. Now, at the same time, your digestive system may get nauseous, abdominal discomfort, cramping, bloating, diarrhea, constipation, reflux, all of those things, right? Now, what about respiratory? Some people experience congestion, a runny nose. You know, if you ever ate, pay attention to when you eat, even your kids. When you eat something that you might be allergic to and your body produces histamines, you get like a, what do they call that, postnasal drip, or your nose immediately starts running. I know right away. If I'm eating something that disagrees with my body, my nose instantly will run. And not a lot, just like you can, you know, when you feel it and then you kind of wipe your nose and it's like just moist or something, that is your body saying, it's not really good. Watery eyes, throat irritation, wheezing, shortness of breath, breathing difficulty, or throat swelling could be anaphylaxis, so you got to be careful with that. You want to go seek medical attention. Cardiovascular, you could see like rapid heartbeat, palpitation. You know where you see this a lot too? With candida. Sort of the same, in my opinion, it's like there's a slight connection, right? You have that, I don't know if you've ever gotten like that heart flutter after you eat something, or you feel like it's like your heart is just doing, you know, beating because you're just like, what? And then you look back and you ate whatever it is, XYZ. We have a nice little wave going, guys. Keep that chat rolling. Maybe let us know where you're coming from today. Do no harm. You know what I'm talking about, right? You get that, like, it's like a deep flutter in your heart. And you know it's not like a heart attack or something. It's usually your mast cells are saying, womp, 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 this isn't working, this isn't working. Look at my ebook. In honor of you, my Miss Lauren, I'm gonna send it to you because I just finished it yesterday, proofreading it and recipes and stuff. Look at this thing. And look, I made this, you're gonna love this little chart. Look at my little handout. The histamine bucket. It's so cool. All right, so then we talk about the nervous system and whole body systems. Commonly describe headaches, migraine-like symptoms, brain fog, fatigue, difficulty concentrating, sleep disturbances. Now keep in mind, right, these symptoms can be a host of things. And you have to peel back the layer. You have to sort of be a scientist. I've given you guys so many of these little booklets and we've talked so much. Let's look. I made this ginger apple compote with cinnamon, Lauren. It's for like, just like a little breakfast compote for you to eat. If you can't do the grains, or, you know, it's anti-inflammatory. You got an apple for the fiber. It smells so good. Smell that. Very simple. Some apples, a little filtered water, some Ceylon cinnamon. I grated some ginger and a little tiny, tiny bit of maple syrup, just to give it that little bit of sweet. And this is a great sort of, when you're in a high histamine reaction, this is going to help calm your gut, soothe your digestive tract. Honestly, what I would add to this is a little kuzu. I have 100 different items in my back pantry, but I wish I had kuzu. Kuzu is a great addition to this. Oh, I wish I had thought of that. When I was writing this recipe, I was like, oh wait, what? It's okay. Kuzu is like a root, and it's kind of macrobiotic. Oh my God. This is really very nice, very soothing. This is the kind of thing you want to eat. You know, you could put this in a little bowl and just kind of take it in lightly. So what I was saying about symptoms, right? What I was saying about symptoms is these symptoms go across the board. But when you peel it down and you get to the very basic of things, in some ways, this mast cell to me, I mean, this is over time and it builds over time that you get to this point. But honestly, when you start having these symptoms for the first time, or they've been building over time, it's not a bad thing to look at, to sort of say, and in a way, I feel like part of my food philosophy has been find out what your food sensitivities are. Because what happens, you eat a food sensitivity, and a food sensitivity is not an allergy, right? An allergy is something where it happens right then, you react. Wisconsin? Hi, man, welcome. Wait, what is that? Never heard of it. Robin, don't laugh. What are you talking about? Kuzu? Kuzu is a root. I don't think I can find it right now. It looks white, and it's like little chunks of white powder. It's like as if it looks like as if powdered sugar like clumped together in a very soft but hard way. And then the minute you add water, it dissolves. But when you mix it into warm food, it creates a pudding-like texture. You only need a little bit. Like in something like this, I would put like a 1/4 teaspoon. But when you have stomach digestion, we got to talk about kuzu. I can't even believe I forgot to put this in here, because honestly, in my brain, it is a fabulous addition to this recipe. And it's spelled Kudzu, kudzu, kudzu. So it's just great. Anyway, so you eat something like, so let me peel back. So when we're talking about this, so an allergy is where hives, vomit, anaphylaxis, right? Those are like the 3 big reactions to food allergies. Kids have allergies to tree nuts. I have that anaphylactic allergy to bee stings and andrographis, which is an herb that is in every over-the-counter immune supportive vitamin or cold remedy out there, and it's my own fault. I did it. Well, that's a conversation for another time. Then a food sensitivity is these reactions, right? You take in food. You have a food sensitivity to it. Maybe it's, I don't know, corn. And you eat corn and it goes in your gut. Digestion, stomach ache, you don't really digest it, it sits in your stomach. Maybe you get constipated, maybe you have diarrhea, maybe you get a headache. And that reaction to a food sensitivity happens up to almost 72 hours after. It could happen immediately up to 72 hours. Runny nose, little things that you're like, ugh, but you don't quite think about it. Now, this is what happens, and this is to me my theory on ADD kids, kids that are on the spectrum, their guts are messed up, right? So this is something, if you have a kid on the spectrum, this is a really important information tidbit. So now you're eating, and maybe you're sensitive to corn, maybe you're sensitive to cucumber, maybe you're sensitive to, I don't know, rice, or pick a food, zucchini, mushroom, steak, whatever it is. And you don't really know. You know because you're having these stupid little reactions. Yeah, exactly. I realized saltine crackers were doing it to me, Lauren. I used to love them, and I would get this intense, deep heart flutter. It was like a heart flutter. And I loved saltine crackers with a little butter. That was like a big snack for me years ago. And I finally put 2 and 2 together, and I stopped that and never had the heart flutter again. I don't eat any wheat anymore, but gluten started to be the big thing. Hey, Felicia. But what I'm saying to you guys is, you don't know what the food is a lot of times. So unless you're keeping a food diary or a food journal, or you're taking that blood test to find out what your sensitivities are, it's very hard to control histamine reactions, because what's happening is your body's releasing these histamines over and over and over and over and over, and then your body goes, it's done. My bucket's full. I can't do it anymore. And shit starts really happening, full blown, like what Lauren is talking about. Hives, her skin. Her skin, in this case, is the organ. Now, think about little kids. They get black circles around their eyes. They are bouncing off the walls. Now, what happens, remember, your gut is attached to your brain, gut-brain barrier, very intense, right? Mood, focus, attention, brain fog, all the things. So you get it? So constant histamine reaction, you're taking in all this food that you think might be good, but you have this, you might have a small reaction. Hey, Elizabeth, we're coming September 13th. We're going to be there that week. We're coming. I can't wait to see you. Ron and I are coming. So you see what I'm saying? You get that reaction. And when that happens, your histamines are overfiring. You need them, but right now they're too big. They're too strong. They're really just overreacting. So that's sort of like what I want you to hear. And then when you have your histamine bucket, this is where you start to understand, right? Maybe infection, maybe medication, maybe environmental toxins. Then you walk by somebody that's got a ton of cologne on, and it whacks you in the face. I cannot take cologne. In fact, in our shop, nobody's allowed to wear any type of perfume, soapy. You got to use fragrant-free things for your clothes. You cannot mess with that stuff, because what happens is people who have this mast cell, they cannot function. They cannot, or some people have, even with, the MTHFR. We got to do that. How come I've never done MTHFR? We're going to talk about that too. So for moms, for families that have kids on the spectrum, this is a really important thing to look at also. Yes, we're going to talk about that. I have all that in here. 62 pages of all that love and how we do it. Elizabeth, I got to send this to you for Luca. All right, so histamines receive. Okay, so now, there's a lot of reading to do. This is pretty scientific, and it's the only way to figure it out. Yeah, I don't go through perfume counters anymore. I can't do it. I have to avoid them. So, histamines receive most of the attention because people recognize the word from allergies, antihistamines, medications. But if we reduce the mast cell activation to only histamines, we miss an important part of the biology of what we're talking about, because mast cells can release a multiple amount of mediators, and those different mediators can produce different effects in different tissues. So this is why it helps explain that, why one person experiences mostly skin symptoms, and then some struggle primarily with digestion, and then some experience dizziness and headaches. It's sort of like saying somebody's autistic, right? It's like, well, now we have an autism spectrum, right? And it's the same with this. It's like you have all of these things. Hey, good morning, Cuddle. How are you? It's sort of the same thing. Mast Cell Activation Syndrome is sort of the blanket covering of what's happening in the body. And then you have to break it down into different areas and basically by body parts, or by like by systems, respiratory, skin, nerves, those things. And this is why, for me, kitchen pharmacy approach asks the broader question. Instead of asking which foods cause this, I think we need to ask, in addition, what was the total environmental surrounding this reaction? So what was the total environmental overload? Did we go out to lunch with a friend and have a glass of wine and some fish that was sitting out, and then we went shopping together and hit a perfume counter? Were we driving in our car and we hit a cloud of diesel in a truck? That diesel smell, you know what I'm talking about? I know all my MTFR people understand, and my low histamine people, the histamine people, right? So those are the things that we have to look at. You have a reaction, okay, what was I just exposed to? And then add on top of that, stress. Don't underestimate the power of stress, right? So histamine has developed a terrible reputation, right, in the wellness conversation. But histamines are not a toxin that the body accidentally produces. It actually has important jobs, right? Histamine participates in immune response, stomach acid secretion, brain signaling, wakefulness, blood vessel regulation, inflammatory responses. So you're not looking for antihistamines. When people think about food allergies, yes, well, there's MAS, MAD, but there's many categories. For example, I have smoldering and indolent. Yeah, see? I didn't go that deep. I went on the whole picture, because I think, doesn't that really determine what system is being affected, and what foods, right? Based some of that. I think, again, it's sort of like autism, right? You say, oh, this person's autistic, but when you get down to it, maybe they're Asperger's, maybe they're nonverbal, maybe they're this, maybe they have ADD. You know what I mean? It's like then you get into the specific category, and that specific category or situation for that person is what we have to look at. Is that a good way to look at it, Lauren? Right, the treatments are different. So where do histamines come from? Your own body, immune cells, including mast cells, can release histamines directly. Food, certain foods naturally contain more histamines than other, avocado, banana, fermented, smoked. And then microbial activity. Microorganisms can influence histamine both in foods and within the body's own complex microbiome, right? And environments. So when you look at the histamine bucket, one of the easiest ways to understand fluctuating tolerances is the bucket. So you imagine that your body has a bucket, and then different things add to the bucket. Standing right in front of here, TikTok, and I got a puzzle piece. I have to do a dance, so I'm moving. You got a bucket. And then they won't drop it. Jude, thank you from my heart. All right, so this model is only an analogy, right? The body doesn't literally have a histamine bucket, but it's and mast cell biology is far more complicated than that. I want to bring it down to a level that, you know, the non-Laurens of the world understand, because Lauren has the science down. She understands it completely. Me, I'm more of that lay person. I'm coming from the kitchen. I'm saying to you guys, here it looks like, yeah, see, Mast Cell Society has the main research on this. On brand. What's going on? All right, so did you catch my dance? I keep getting the puzzle piece. So I'm like, okay, I have to dance and teach so that I don't get a puzzle piece. I can't just stand here and chat with you guys. Let's check our compote. Look at our beautiful compote. This is a wonderful way to eat. If you're gonna keep it in your fridge, you can store this in glass, tightly covered, really good seal. Don't just stick it in an open pot, right? Very important for mast cell. When symptoms occur, resist the urge to immediately label the last thing you ate as bad. Write down what happened, look for repeatable patterns. One reaction is information, and then the consistent pattern becomes, is much more useful. Then we're going to talk about a little bit about DAO, which is diamine oxidase. It's one of the enzymes that are involved in breaking down the histamine, particularly the histamine encountered in the digestive tract. And that's why it receives so much attention and conversation about histamine intolerance. So these MAS versus histamine intolerance, and then this DAO, I think they deserve sort of a conversation of how this all lays out. So a simple way to remember the difference, think of histamine intolerance as sort of the traffic problem. Too much histamine is arriving relative to the body's ability to clear it. And think of Mast Cell Activation Syndrome as the oversensitive alarm. You ate too much, can't do it, my bucket's full, change it, help me. And then the mast cell themselves are activating and releasing chemical messengers. So the person could potentially have, potentially have elements of both situations happening at once, and they're not synonymous. So the histamine intolerance is generally discussed as an imbalance between dietary histamine and intestinal histamine. And then particularly involving an enzyme, right? So this enzyme comes into the picture. It's kind of complicated. So I'm explaining it as simple as I can. Diamine oxidase. Repost and share, friends. I just see you like lifting your head off the pillow, Tyler, writing that, and then just dropping down again. I wish I could feed you this ginger compote. It would make you feel better. It's warm, it's got apple. This is nice. I have one eye open. So researchers, clinicians, so another enzyme, histamine N-methyltransferase, or HNMT, participates in histamine metabolism inside the cell. This is all the science part. This is this part that I know Lauren gets excited about. And when she talks about it, my head pops off because it gets me, I don't understand it, but I think we need to understand a little bit of it because it kind of helps you sort of dig through the weeds to figure out how this all comes together. So if you are thinking you have some sort of mast cell, some of the things you want to ask a practitioner. Good morning, Farah. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome in, welcome in. What symptoms are we trying to address? Do my symptoms appear specifically meal related? What other diagnoses should be considered? Could any medication be influencing histamine metabolism? What ingredients are in the DAO supplement? Could they be causing something? Chicken soup to the rescue. How will we determine whether it is actually helping? So why mast cell activation can be difficult to diagnose, and I think a lot of it is because every person is different. Every trigger is different. Everybody reacts differently to every food we eat. Some, for me, avocados are great, but for a blood type person or a mast cell person, they eat an avocado and it's triggering. So you just don't know how many body systems are involved. Maybe your respiratory system isn't working and your skin is having problems. It really requires a really scientific, approach, right? Serum tryptase is one laboratory marker commonly discussed, although elevation may involve additional mediator testing depending upon the circumstances and timing. So you have to become your own health bone marrow biopsy to determine where you sat with the mast cell. So you have a good doctor that knows what they're doing. Because you can't just go to who's the doc? You don't go to a GP for mast cell. Who do you go to? It's not functional medicine. You don't go to an endocrinologist. Who are you going to? Allergy, got it. What about an immunologist? Yeah, always. I only had a bone to pick. Bone marrow with oncology. Yeah, they usually do that to determine certain things, yeah. So become your own health advocate. If you are suspecting that mast cell is something that is, think about this. During the spring, if you suffer from severe allergies during this, that's respiratory, could be skin, right? And then, I don't know, you go into perfume counter at a mall and that affects you. Gas stations. I cannot put gas in my car. I'm like this when I put gas in my. It's probably the only time I ever want to wear a mask is when I'm in a gas station. You can't eat avocado or banana unless cooked. See, Melinda? Right. Do you have mast cell? Or you just have histamine reactions. And then the thing that drives me crazy is that people take those over-the-counter antihistamines, and it's like, wait a minute. I don't know how I feel about that, because I'm always of the opinion, if histamines are here to help the body, what we need to do is support the histamine balance. So we want to avoid discover what's making that reaction and get rid of that. Never diagnose. But, so this is pretty helpful for you then. This is probably going to help you answer some questions, right? Fresh food. What do you eat? So what I'm saying to you is, if you have allergies, spring allergies from pollen and all of those things, that's a respiratory thing too, right? Watery eyes. You got a few systems happening there. Whereas our system list, here it is. And then maybe you eat something and your heart flutters, and now you got cardiovascular in there. Your nervous system and whole body, right? You have brain fog. Now you've ruled out, I don't have candida. Now you've ruled out, whatever, just specific food allergies. I think the next exploration, not just clinical, but the next exploration to me is food sensitivity test. Go get that blood test. It's so worth the money if you're suffering. Get it. Even do one of the ones that you see, floating around in these social media atmosphere. Do that. Do anything to kind of get a grasp on, hair analysis for food allergy. Do any of those things to sort of understand what is happening in your body. Because you could be eating carrots every day and drinking carrot juice And that's the food that's bothering you. I don't know. And then you're eating a salad with avocados, and then you have a banana for lunch, and you don't realize that all the things you're eating are histamine, you know, since histamine and estrogen are metabolized in the liver, MTHFR is a problem, it becomes a bottleneck. Yeah. You know, I have oh my God. And I have that MTHFR gene, 2 of them, 2 mutations. And I often think I probably have this mast cell, but I'm pretty good because I rarely eat leftovers. My diet is so varied all the time. I rarely eat the same foods on a regular basis. I know, Lauren, I want you to have your science button on, and you are not. I love that you're adding in. You know me, I'm a chef. I'm coming from kitchen pharmacy, but I know the science piece has to be addressed. So I hope I don't sound confusing to you guys. I hope I'm talking to you like I'm talking to you like I'm talking to me, you know, like to all of us that don't have a science button. Yes, my daughter has that. She doesn't have the MTHFR. Melinda, 100% it could be. And what my focus is that all of us are different. Every single human body is affected differently by all things. How's Minnie Chef? She's at school, I miss her, but she's great. I can't wait till September. I get to see her at the end of the month. I can't wait to see her. I was just telling, there's a woman on here, she just let her baby go to college this week. And all the videos are popping up and she's crying. And I said, the first summer that Isabel was leaving for college, she'd be like laying on the couch, you know, whatever, scrolling, watching TV, whatever she would be doing. And I would literally, I'm not making it up, I'm not exaggerating. I would like run from the other side of the room and just jump on top of her and just scoop her up and kiss her. She'd be like, get off of me. But I sent mine off in 2 weeks. Oh yeah, it's too much. It's too much. And this year, the boyfriend moved her in. I have to say I was a little jelly, but I shut my mouth. I let it happen. And then she called and she was all sad. And then I got off the phone and I was like, "Ma!" So I think it was the way where we were just sending her more money. Okay, here, go ahead, get whatever you need, you know. It's just, oh, April, here it comes, here it comes. It's the year. It's bittersweet, you know, it's kind of fun to watch them grow and, you know, spread their wings. If I could give you one piece of advice, April, let them spread their wings this year. Let them make mistakes while they're home. Because when they get to college and they think they're free for the first time, they make too many big mistakes and we're too far away to help them. But if they make them in their senior year while you're here, so many of my daughter's friends, parents were like, you know, in their senior year, you're not allowed out, you're not allowed to do this, and they kept them like, ugh. We said to our daughter, grades have to be good, you have to work, and you have to keep Life 360 on. And as long as I know where you are free, be free. She made a couple of big mistakes. She had us to fall back on. We got her straight. And when she got to college, all these kids were going wild and she was steady. She was steady because we gave her, we set her free. We let her sort of spread her wings near us. So we still had the bungee cord. We could pull her back in and go, And it you know, it kept her from going off the edge, which a lot of these kids are. I have a kid that tells us more than I want to know. And it is true, April, I'm telling you, I never partied. I had livestock to take care of, still do. Adrenaline, and that wasn't my experience. I was wild. But I came from parents that were like, I wasn't allowed to do a thing. So when I got out, I was like, "Wah!" So I would say if if your kid's close, let them drive, let them let them go, let them be free, let them go to the parties, within reason. And my daughter never hid. Life 360, Life 360. I wish I had stock in that, or had, like, what do you call it, the affiliate? I don't even know if they do that. Put your kids on that and trust them. I'm like, we just tell her, if we wake up at 2:00 in the morning and I can look at my phone and I know where you are, I am fine. Be free. And that's what we did. Yeah, my professor said, save the money your party with, you'll be a millionaire. And he was correct. Exactly. Not Chef being wild. No, I was a good girl. I remember my curfew in high school senior year was I had to be in contact by midnight. Yeah, exactly. I think these kids, they're so, but they also have to have the phone with them. Yeah, that was all those things. Yes, you have. But most kids, our kids today, I don't think they go to the bathroom without a phone, right? I mean, their phone is always with them. They can't function without a phone. Yeah, a little commercial break on the kids back to school, but that would be as an older parent at 62, right? So some of the 30-year-old or 45-year-old parents with seniors in high school, let them be free. Give them the trust to know that you trust them to do the right thing, and they usually will do the right thing. You're the friends, the people, it's that kid that's hiding everything because they've been so squished and so controlled that they start to hide and lie. But I don't know, parenting is a rough ride. Every kid is different. Some kids need that structure and, very controlled. So depending on the kid you got, let them spread their wings. Kids spread their wings during college. Oh, that's the AI summary. Your daughter seems like a good person. She's great. I'm not worried about her. She's gonna do great. But, it takes a freaking village. It wasn't easy to get there. We all know parenting is no freaking joke. It's serious business, It's serious business. Good morning, Robin. Oh, Melinda, you're saying good morning. Sorry, I thought you were saying good morning, sunshine to me. All right, so becoming your own health advocate, right? If you're thinking this is an issue for you, if you're thinking someone in your family has this, I think the best place to start is a journal, some type of food journal, some type of way to track what's happening. There's no universal agreed upon mass food list. And this point is really important. And this is what's so frustrating to so many people because they want a list. What do I eat? What do I do? And you don't know. Good morning, Pri. You don't really know until you know your body, until you know what's going on in your own being. And I think that requires a lot of investigation. That's what that I like that. I like those little guys. Hello. I like that. Journal. My trainer made us write down everything for 2 weeks when he said I'd be a diabetic by 40. Oh. Well, that's a good slap in the face, wake up call, isn't it? I love trainers. They're so direct. They got no time. You're paying them to get you in shape, right? Thank you, Pri. Thank you, my friend. How did your DJ battle? Did you win your DJ battle last night? Pri. I think with the shares, the likes, we gotta rock the likes. I was watching that guy, Uncle Glenn, last night. He's like, we get 1 million likes, 500,000 likes. Come on, like, tapping is free. Rah, 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 rah. And I was like, oh, we got to build our family. Build our family. Let's go. I think one of the contests or things, you need 50 new followers in a live. I'm like, all right, we could do it. We've done it. We did it a couple of times 2 weeks ago. We got like 100 new followers, right? All these things. Look, we got our heart me's moving again. Let's go. It's very hard to do that. I'm not good at doing that. He is was that Uncle Glenn you were watching? I was just scrolling through and I was watching and he was like, hey, you gotta get this. We gotta get our family bigger. Let's go. With the New York accent. He's like, tap, 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 tap. We gotta build our family. Let's go. Share it out. It's all free. Yay. It was so crazy. Oh, on brand. I saw it. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch it. And then I was so busy. I'm limited 2.5 liters a day only, and I cannot seem to get it in. 2.5, okay, here's one to you. You're limited 2.5 liters, you mean of water, are you talking about? Yeah, I cannot, Viviana, that's so hard for me to do. I'm supposed to do it. Tyler is always telling me, don't talk yourself up enough for all the selling and doing, and it's like, I forget to and I want to because I think liquid. Well, if you wake up in the morning and you have water ready, or you can just know that you're gonna just drink a nice giant glass of water, I always drink a nice big glass of water in the beginning of my day. Like I start there. I don't even know where my measuring cup is. Let me see, is it in here? Oh, it is, let's see. I think this is like 16 or 12 ounces or something. I think it might even be more, let me see. Yeah, so this is 12 ounces or 350 milliliters. So this is almost a half a liter. So this glass is a half a liter. So start there, first thing in the morning. I'm floating in a pool talking to you, so I'm great. Renee, I miss you, sis. It's so nice to see you. All right, where are we? Commonly reported individual triggers. Build your personal tolerance list. This is what we were talking about. Get that journal, write it down. It could be environmental toxins. It could be laundry soap. It could be nail polish that you put on your hands. It could be anything. And when you're in this space, you are very motivated to figure it all out, right? You are very motivated to figure it all out. Tomatoes, avocados, citrus, and chocolate. This is where low histamine list becomes frustrating. Commonly reported individual triggers, right? These are common. Tomatoes, spinach, eggplant, avocado, citrus, strawberries, pineapple, bananas, chocolate, cocoa, nuts, certain legumes, you see? It could be anything. And I bet if we did the science, Lauren, I wonder, think about this for a second. Lauren, are you there? I just had a thought about this. I wonder sometimes when we talk about blood type and we matched individual triggers to people's blood type, I wonder, FODMAP foods too. Next week we're doing FODMAP. I thought it would be a good follow-up to Mast Cell to get in toxic and direct into the system, especially the salon. I don't care. I'm doing it. Look, I have these on adrenaline. I hope you guys are laughing. I mean, that was so much love. There's two chemicals I'm never gonna give a crap about, although I found that, I saw that shampoo. Yeah, exactly, see what I'm saying? You pick your battles, right? I know adrenaline, but I feel like for me, 90% of the time, I'm 100% organic. I don't use any laundry soap. I don't eat anything that's gonna make me, I'm so good about most stuff that I just couldn't stand having ugly nails anymore, cooking and having my food. So I do it, and I don't care. I just stopped caring about that. So I make sure the rest of my life is chemical free. So I can paint my hair and my nails. I know, adrenaline, please. I know. Believe me, I know. And but I don't put them into that UV cooker. I will not do that. I will never do that. But yes, I know. And I don't care until we have this conversation, so I just ignore it. I missed the liver talk. Where can I find the video? Carol, you can find the replay, fatty liver disease you're talking about. You can find the replay in YT, but also go to the LINK in my bio and go to Stan and join the recipe vault. You've got, I don't even know how many pages that was. I can't remember. It's a giant packet of information plus all the rest of these. I mean, you have a library of food and healing in that recipe vault, honestly, for $5 a month. You know, less than you'd spend on a cup of coffee in our favorite drive-through, you know. I feel like it is such a valuable space. There's over 600 recipes, over 30 food and healing ebooks now, and they are comprehensive, you know, for the most part. It really is. I mean, and I've been posting all the kitchen hacks classes. You know, it is a huge resource, and the best part about that resource is once you download something, it's yours. You don't have to keep it on your phone. You could put it in your you know, on your laptop, in your phone, so it's a reference for you. And I'm working on listing the recipes. I haven't been in there, but now I got almost all of September done. I have 3 weeks to finish up a couple of books and you know, do all of that work for you guys. I'm telling you, treat yourself. It's $5. You don't feel it. $5, that's it. It's so easy. The value, honestly, I don't know. I think the value is way more than that. And in this booklet here, I made a pear and blueberry quinoa breakfast bowl. There's fresh turkey and zucchini and herb rice, rosemary chicken. There's lamb patties with cucumber dill rice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 or 8 recipes in here. You get a personal trigger journal. I gave you a whole sort of way to start journaling in here. I gave you questions for your health practitioner. You have a lot of information to help you navigate. Here, I gave you a way to come up with a kitchen pharmacy plan. Like, you know, your 3 most important symptoms, patterns you've noticed. This is great for, you know, for you to figure out, you know, great to do before you go see your doctor and bring them all this information. It's very, very helpful. Don't forget to drop your heart rate today, folks. We need all the love. We need as much love as we can get. We got to finish our goals. We need at least 5 more new followers. Tapping is free. Let's go. We got to build our family. Come on. What are you doing? Yay. Ay. I wish I had a little video that I could pop up and I can have Uncle Glenn in here. Hey, what are you doing? Let's go. Come on. Hey. I was like, I love this guy. He's so funny. Level 4, thank you, Carol, so much. Thank you. Don't forget to keep tapping. I mean, it was just so funny. I was like, how am I going to do that? If Tyler saw this, he'd be like, do that. I want to see 5 people join that recipe vault today. You will not regret it. $5, that's it. And the only reason I'm asking you, I know you're there. I knew you were there. That's why I said it. You need a bell to ring or give. Come, let's go. Whack. Yeah. Ding. I got something. Hold on. This is my husband. He's a Disney freak. Mine. I feel like each booklet is worth $5. I mean, think about it though. How much would you pay for an ebook that's 62 pages of information, like science and all that stuff? It's like with recipes. I mean, I spent hours and hours putting this together for you. But most important, the $5 is so that you actually get in there and use it. Oh, I'm spending $5. I should use this. You know what I mean? And it helps because look at all this paper I have to print. It is. It's so good. Ask yourself, how much is my health worth? Ooh, Robin, let's go. I can't snap. I don't have good snapping. It's true. Seriously though, 5 people today. You know, I love this stuff. I love these things. They're fun. But how many of those things do you send us love, which I love, keep going because it helps. But what if you took $5 of that a month and went into the vault and, you know, supported your health? Yeah, I don't have that. Some people have that, like good snap. Gifted for birthday or Christmas. That's not a bad idea. That's a good stocking stuffer. For somebody that's not feeling good and needs a place to learn, it's good. I know people hawk stuff all the time on here, and I get it. And, you know, I can't imagine how many, I would occupy the capital of Italy for you. Thank you. Around the world in a snap. Stupid. All right, so where are we? All right, I am way off topic, and we're only on page 14. Can you believe it? I mean, we're not gonna make. I'll stay on until like 10:30 if I will, but stocking stuffer. Yeah, I can't snap either. Oh, thank God, Renee. So we'll just have to use this. Well, I'll go like this. Good morning, Bye Talk. What's going on? You never called. You never wrote. You said you wanted to yap. I was like, hey, I keep checking my DMs. Nothing. Snap to it. Have you thought about printing those and shipping them out? Oh, I would do that. What do you mean? And then somebody buys it? Ooh, little mini books. It's not a bad idea. I could do that. Do you think people would want to buy this like that? No, you wanted to chat with me. You said, I want to pick your brain. I was like, sure, let's go. I'm all in. Happy to. Anytime you can DM me. And then I could put them in the TikTok shop. Oh, that's not a bad idea. All right. Hey, One-Eyed Tyler. Let's figure that out. I could like bind them with one of those little things. I look glowing today. Thanks. Not sure how cost effective that would be. I mean, it would be the same as, you know, shipping out the cookbook, right? But I think for people who really want it, but to me, so adrenaline though, you could print this at home too. If you have a printer, you're able to do that. These are not, you know, let's talk about that. That's an interesting idea. I'm up for the conversation because then they don't let you put ebooks on TikTok Shop, which I think is kind of silly. They should do that, like electronic stuff. I guess because they do returns, so that those would be non-refundable items, you know. It's the experience of getting it. Yeah. All right, let me think about how we could do that. Let me talk to Tyler about it. It's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. Something to talk about. All right, so let's see. We got 45 minutes and we've got 55 pages. All right, let's rock it. The freshness factor. Buy it fresh, cook it fresh, eat it fresh, freeze the rest promptly. That's the rule. When you have mast cell, when you are fighting, I remember I had a naturopath. Her name was Dr. Deborah Gibson. Yes, that's her name. And when I went to her, she was an amazing. She had an amazing scientific mind and was so incredibly helpful because not only was she scientific, but she was able to explain it to someone who is not scientific, and I understood it. And I feel like one of the things that she used to say is, if you're immunocompromised, if you're going through ABC issue, do not eat leftover food. And if you're gonna eat leftovers, it's within 24 hours. You must cool the food properly, seal it, cover it in very airtight glass jars so that you knew that the food was safe to eat, especially for some. Oh, so this is something, you guys, I don't think I've ever shared with you. I had for 7, almost 8 years, I fought and healed myself from Meniere's. Does anybody know what Meniere's is? It's an inner ear imbalance that causes severe vertigo, but it's a different process. And oh, what do you guys got going on here? BYO, build your own ebook. I can see it now. All right, let's talk about that, Tyler. I'm all in. And that was one of the things she said to me, because my trigger for Meniere's turned out to be mycotoxins and mold and dust mites. So that's why there are 0 carpets in our house. That's why we have air filters. He won't leave me. Come here. Come here, little man. Come here, my little puppy. Say hi to everybody. Hi. He wouldn't leave me. That's so funny. That's it. Oh, So, cooked for 15 hours at mom's house. New fridge coming tomorrow. Nice. Hi, baby. I have some pictures I'm going to send you. Oh, so yeah, it is devastating, and it's on the website of incurable diseases that you can go on Social Security disability for. And my doctor was like, I'm going to write you recommended for, what do you call it? Disability. So, because you can't work. And I was like, I was in my, how old was I? I was probably in my 30s, my late 30s when it presented. And I was like, there is no effing way I'm gonna figure this out. And when I started working at Nature's Temptations, the owner of the store said, go see Dr. Gibson. And I went to her, and it took a long time to clear, a very long time, and I suffered a very long time. But that was one of the things Deborah Gibson said, was she said, I took a mycotoxin homeopathic remedy all the time. I was on, I don't even remember, maybe 12 supplements a day for 4 or 5 years. I had a very limited diet. I could not eat any leftovers at all. I pretty much did this. I pretty much was on a mast cell sort of low FODMAP. How did I forget that? I think it was so much trauma for me that I couldn't believe it. And then it showed up again when I was pregnant. I had the same symptoms, but after that, it's been gone. But I was like, there's no way I'm going on disability. I'm gonna cure this. And I did through food. So if your friend, if you want more information, you can reach out to me. Who said do tell? Oh, please, Jenna, reach out to me. I can kind of, the first thing she made me do was that food sensitivity test. Number one, first thing, it's like $1,000. It was out of Florida. It's pretty big. It's been around a long time. Their website is terrible, but the test was great. But there's plenty of them out there that you can start with. That is no joke. Anybody that has vertigo, we should do that. Let's do vertigo. MTHFR, vertigo. I'm gonna put these on the list. All right, my friends. Let's see, where are we at? Okay, so cook it, cool it, freeze it. Cook it, cool it, freeze it. And I made you guys a little refrigerator list so you know, right? Prepare, use fresh, high quality ingredients, cool the food within 2 hours of cooking, portion meals before freezing, you know, everything's stored in glass. Airtight. Get the ones that seal airtight. Look. The ones that have the rim around them, they're glass, look. So you know, the lid doesn't pop off. This is what you need. Hashimoto's. Oh, you know what? We haven't done like just the Hashimoto's. We've done thyroid, but. Okay. We've got another list. We're already ready for October. I'm excited. See, and all of these are in the vault. $5. You can go to the vault, open it up, download the packet you want. $5. We should have 5 people. When I get off here, 5 people should spend their $5 and go do that vault. Get those hearts rolling, hearts rolling, hearts rolling. So crazy. All right, so very important, fresh food. It's so important because, you know, when you don't have fresh food, the issue becomes that, you know, you're getting those mycotoxins, the little mycobacterias that affect your gut, and we don't want that. Hidden triggers beyond food. We've talked a little bit about this, and look what I got you. Hidden trigger checklist. So you also have lifestyle, medications, digestive, emotional and mental, travel, hormonal and body signals, food and drink, environmental exposure. And this is also here. So if you have mast cell, if you are going through, even for autoimmune, I don't know, Lauren, but I think $5 vault, can we gift it? Tyler, let's gift it. How can we gift it? Can you send like can you put up a thing that gifts it? Do you do a yearly gift? Do you do something like $45 or something? I don't know. See what you can do for like a gifted thing. $60 gift is like $20 now, remember that? Every gift was $20 when you had all those little birthday parties. Now I feel like every little gift that you get your kid for a birthday party is like $50. Like, what can the kid get for $25 anymore, right? It's all changed. Do you see them swirling? Like little sharks. They're like little sharks. Little shark. I'm a little shot out of the cannon today. All right, so hidden triggers, temperature, heat, hot showers, overheating, rapid temperature changes, sometimes cold exposure. Think about this. You're in 110 degrees out all over the country. It's like age. 60 is the new 40. Exactly, Robin. And you go, yeah, I mean, for a Christmas gift for like $60, that's nice. That's a nice holiday gift. What was I saying? I was saying something. See, Kimberly, this is how it happens. And then I'll never remember I said this until I would be like, hey, remember you said this? That's what we have to do now. Enjoy the breathing. Right, so you go out, coffee mug and coffee mug and a gift card. I love that. You guys are awesome. I love that. Tyler, take notes, buddy. Wake up. Come on. Bust that fever out of the way. So, wait, what was I saying? I'm so sorry. This is such a serious topic. Think about this. 110 degrees, hot, humid, you're running around, you're outside shopping, and then you walk into a freezing grocery store. You know how refrigerator cases are so cold, and you get whacked. And you know, by the time you get home, you're flushed, you're sweaty, you have skin irritant, your eyes are watering, you're like, wait a minute, I didn't even eat anything, what could possibly have happened? That's how it all works. Your body is set, the fire alarm. Right here, Abrand. Right here, Ab. You need this, Chef Liz. Chef Liz. Babe. Come here, maniac dog. Hold on, guys. Ron. Ron? Wait. He's looking for his dessert. Take my breath away. You guys are so cute. I got one of those. Oh, you got a coffee mug? So many of you got coffee mugs. They're on the shop, but I don't think I'm allowed to say that when I'm not on the shop. All right. Physical stress, intense exercise, overexertion, injury, surgery, physical exhaustion. Your body is running overload. These are all the hidden triggers beyond the food. So maybe you ate an avocado and it wouldn't have hurt you, but then you went to the gym and then you were outside watching your kid's soccer game in the heat, and then some lady that was sitting next to you had a ton of perfume on, and then you get in the car and you're driving behind a guy that has a diesel truck and the exhaust is hitting you. And then you get home and there's a lot of pollen in the air and your body goes, uh-oh, the fire alarms start ringing. And then, I don't know, maybe you're taking a medication that gets in the way of the, you have an antibiotic, right? Pain relievers, the NSAIDs, they may trigger. Oh, adrenaline. You know what's a big trigger for Meniere's? Aspirin, actual aspirin. I cannot take aspirin. It is a Meniere's trigger for me. And I think it's like that's on the list. He's adorable, but he's very needy. Isabel carried him everywhere. They're buddies, so now he's super needy. Yeah, let them know, don't take aspirin. Come on. Come on, dog. So you got it, hidden triggers. And you have this list. So what's good about this list is that this is how she used to carry him, like a little boy, like a little kid. She's like, Mom, I wish he was a real boy. I'm like, oh, like Pinocchio? They say dogs show how you feel. Maybe he's anxious for her. Aw. Hi, handsome. Hello, handsome. So, this trigger list is probably really good because, yeah, exactly. All right, buddy. So this trigger list is really good. You have he's looking for morsels. Yeah, Renee, you think? He doesn't, when he had a lot of fur on him before they shaved it all off, we thought he was like, fat, but he's really not fat. He just loves to eat. Sit. You guys have to watch how they sit. Hold on. Sit. They can't sit still. They just run around like, here you go, buddy. Want this one? Here, buddy. Ouch! Easy. Oh, sorry. You need a pet sling in your TikTok shop. Yeah. His foo-foo tail is hilarious. Oh, yeah. They're too much. Very distracting. Okay. Sometimes the culprit's not the broccoli. It may be everything surrounding the broccoli, right? Look closely, bottled salad dressings, marinades, bouillon, soup-based seasoning. I think for when you're dealing with mast cell, the best thing that you can do is go super simple till you figure it out. 1 or 2 foods in a meal. Lower your exposure as best you can. look at the things that really bother you. A gentle, low histamine experiment. It shouldn't automatically become a permanent diet, but think of it as an investigatory tool, a reasonable approach, right? Simplify meals around fresh, minimally processed, temporarily reducing the most obvious high histamine foods, improve food storage, keep meals adequately, track them, track your symptoms. You really have to become a sleuth, and an investigator. He won't stop either. He'll just sit there. Look, we have all this work. That must have been Jackson, that snap. Oh yeah, it's totally him. He's a madman. He's a madman. Process of elimination, yep. So then, that's what we talk about, right? And then what you want to do is, as you figure it all out, you want to build your plate. You want to be able to fresh protein, chicken, lamb, turkey. You kind of want to expand your diet. Sometimes, if you expand it to all, dude, you got to calm down. Yeah. Sometimes if you expand your diet a little bit more and you actually try different food choices, you might not become so reactive, and it will be very, it's much more helpful. Gentle, 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 good boy. Oh, as he always does, right? Nourishing carbohydrates, brown rice, wild rice, all the grains, quinoa, millet, brown rice farina. That's really good. Tolerated vegetables, zucchini, carrots, broccoli, cauliflower, green beans, cucumber, lettuce, cabbage. There's no way to know. You have to figure it out. I can only help you with like the high, keep all the stuff we talked about earlier in terms of what to avoid, right? Aged cheeses, dairy, all that kind of stuff. And then look, I made you another beauty. There's so many, there's like 4 of these in this group, right? You got the histamine, the build your plate. You've got the hidden trigger list. I made a bunch of them for you so that you can pull them and thank you. Yes. Have we dug deep down on castor oil yet? I have not spoken about castor oil yet. I'll add it. It is now added to the list. MTHFR, vertigo, Hashimoto's, castor oil. Okay, healthy fats, fresh flavor, vegetables, protein, carbohydrate, fiber, right? All the things we've talked about. It's really the core of our food system, the core of our diet. If we stick there, like I always say to you, I'm printing them at Staples in a book. Oh, you're gonna take this, the whole thing? Yeah, it's nice. That's a good idea. I think that'll work, I am better reading this way too. I like paper because then I can write notes when I think about things. Thank you for my little, is that like a mirror cat? He's so cute. So healthy fats, extra virgin olive, it's the same. It's all the same food we talk about all the time. Did you hear Procter & Gamble bought Thorne? Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Lauren, I have been in this industry since, what do I tell you guys? I've been buying health food. There was like a little health food store, hippie dude in our neighborhood. I used to go in there and just look around. I didn't know what it was about. But in 1982, when I moved out of my house, Thorne is a vitamin company, a very, very, very good vitamin company. And I didn't know that. And I mean, we sell it. We have the whole line in our shop, and it's fabulous. I talk about it all the time. Thorne, Vital Nutrients, Pure Encapsulations, like all those great ones. Anyway, I have seen the progression of the buyouts for years, you know, and it's very sad. Oh, we're in a little wave, guys. Keep rolling that chat. Keep. If we get, let's get to 200 shares. See if we can push this a little further. We got 20 minutes. I'd love to see 100 people in here. So gifting, comments, tapping, sharing, reposting, all of those things. Just bust it out if you can. That's terrible. For another time, but yeah, that's awful. But I've watched the progression of things being sold, and it's so sad. So many great companies just completely destroyed with all these big food companies buying out, you know? It's very sad. All right, gut health and mast cell, very important. This to me is the big one, right? Our guts are the most important thing. Everything's happening in the gut, our healing, our mood, all of it. So when they are rebranding in 6 months, not today, Jackson, but take our regards. Aw. So the digestive tract deserves special attention. It's one of the body's largest interfaces with the outside world, right? It all happens there, and then it winds up in the brain. Attention, brain fog, mood, all of it, all of it. I used to fly a single engine plane to come see you. Food enters there, microorganisms live there, immune cells patrol, nutrients are absorbed, the nervous system communicates there, mast cells are present. So abundant at barrier surfaces such as the gastrointestinal tract, where they participate in intestinal permeability, secretion, blood flow, motility, and immune signaling. The intestinal environment involves ongoing communication with the gastrointestinal tract, between food, the microbiome, the intestinal barrier, immune system, mast cell, the nervous system, everything. So this does not mean every person has a leaky gut, and it doesn't mean that repairing intestinal... It's like the little kid, like they whine and whine and whine. If you ignore them, they eventually stop. But I can't ignore him. He's so annoying, but so cute all at the same time. Oh God. So what does gut healing actually mean? So the wellness world sometimes makes gut healing sound like something you purchase in a container, like, oh, you got to take this or mix this with water and drink it. But for me, from a powder, probiotic, cleanse, fermented drink, all this stuff. But for me, I want to take it from the kitchen pharmacy perspective. It's a little bit more simpler, and you can support the digestive system with eating enough food that eating enough food, chewing it to break it down, maybe even exploring food combining. So your body, while it's trying to reset itself, you are helping it, you're not putting a ton of stress on your body, trying to digest things that don't digest at the same time. Drinking adequate fluids and including tolerated plant-based foods. Gradually introducing fiber and cooking vegetables when you can't do the raw thing. Maybe look at sleep. Look at your sleep pattern. Managing constipation and diarrhea. Maybe instead of taking a pill, a supplement, a powder for diarrhea or constipation, you could make a little rice water and bind the diarrhea that way. If you need more fiber, you can eat stone fruit right now, high fiber. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. If you can't eat an apple, try a pear. You know, if you can't eat a pear, eat a sweet potato. You know what I'm saying? Like, find the foods that work for you and get them in a categorical list. Like, here's my fiber foods, here's my protein foods, and go slow. It's not going to be forever, but as soon as you calm the inflammation and you start to calm everything down, it all starts to work. Hair thinning, I would start with like a biotin and two, all you need is two, what do you call it? We did hair. I think there's a hair ebook. I'm in a different space at the moment. You threw me off. But hair thinning is like silica, collagen, bone broth is very helpful. A really good grass-fed bone broth, very helpful. Like, make it with marrow bones in a crock pot. It's really good. 2 Brazil nuts. Thank you, Renee. I knew I could get that out at some point. Every day, 2 Brazil nuts. Bone broth right off the bat. Supporting sleep, identifying the actual medical digestive disorder rather than assuming, and reducing foods that repeatedly cause symptoms, and zone in on your triggers, environmental triggers. What are you using in your dishwasher with hot steam coming out? What kind of soap are you washing your dishes with? What kind of laundry detergent are you using? Do your clothes smell like Tide? Now you're breathing that in every day, all day. It's sitting on your skin every day, all day. If your clothes smell like your laundry detergent, that's absorbing into your skin every day. Rosemary sprigs, nice. That's a good one. Spray bottle, very good. Forgot that, and I do that all the time. Love that. You got neem oil. That's it. We're done. There's no more. We're all set. Fiber, fermented foods, and gut support. So you see how much information you have here? You can go through this whole list and you're going to get all this information. Yes, exactly, adrenaline. You know, I stopped using perfumes a long time ago. I'll use oils as long as I know where they come from. You know, you're told to eat fermented foods a lot. I can't eat them. I don't do well with fermented foods. Dude, that's it. You're done. Here's your fun. Now go away. You can't possibly still need to eat. What is wrong with these dogs today, Kimberly? It's the attention. They lack attention. I don't see how. We're holding them all the freaking time. All right. Start low, go slow, observe it, right? Fermented foods can absolutely be part of that diet, but fermentation and histamine sensitivity can be a difficult combination. So you have to know what works, right? Sauerkraut, kimchi, kombucha, kefir, yogurt, miso, tempeh, they might be too poorly tolerated for some people. I can't eat a lot of that all the time. I can have a little bit. Like, I can eat sauerkraut if I have it with like a lean protein, like a turkey Reuben or something. I can't just like eat sauerkraut. I can eat a little kimchi. I find with animal protein, for me, a little bit of fermented food works well, but on its own, it's very hard for me to do. I know, probably adrenaline. Fiber feeds beneficial intestinal microbes and it supports the bowel health, but going from very little fiber to enormous salads or powders can create bloating, and then you're like, oh no, I did too much. So right, that all or nothing approach never works when you're healing. You gotta change and move slowly. A week, 10 days, 2 weeks, not boom. Here you go. I'm gonna eat 4 pears a day and 2 apples, and because your body's gonna be like, what is going on? Yeah, come on, June. Come be my dog auntie. So you're looking at anti-inflammatory eating, right? You want to kind of look at that. We made a little apple and ginger compote. You could just eat this as just a little snack. You know, you want something a little sweet, a little nourishing, a little some fiber. This is a great thing. You can eat it alone. Now, I wouldn't eat this whole bowl at once. Maybe a tablespoon at a time. Look at that. That's one apple. Look at how yummy this looks, right? So, This is great. For a kid who's got a stomach upset, this is great. I don't know if they'll eat the ginger. It's a little spicy, but if you tone down the ginger just a little with the apple and the little maple syrup, it's a nice way. And I think if you eat this warm, I liked it better warm. It's cold, it's nice, but there's cinnamon in it, Robin. I added a little cinnamon. Now they're gonna fight. Here we go. So nutrients and food compounds worth knowing. Let's talk about this. So the number one on the list, and here's what we were talking about before. Yeah, it's like making it's like making applesauce. I zested ginger in here, a little cinnamon, a little water, and literally a splash of maple syrup. You don't even need the maple syrup if you don't want it. I just put it there because I know people have a sweet tooth. But for 4 apples, it's a teaspoon. So I put in like an 1/8, right? So we're going to talk about the list of supplements that usually do very well. So quercetin is the first one. Quercetin is a plant flavonoid, and it's found naturally in apples, onions, berries, leafy vegetables, asparagus, and herbs. And lab studies suggest it may influence the mast cell activation and reduce certain inflammatory mediators. So the kitchen pharmacy approach to me would be whole food list, since an apple also brings fiber, water, polyphenols, and a whole matrix of plant compounds, not just quercetin. It's a good way to do it. You can supplement too, especially if you're in that chronic sort of phase. Ooh, look, we only need a chef to make our goal. Here, or we can do this. If we finish that, we'll have our goal for now. We probably won't hold it, but that's okay. At least we started it. Studies have shown that it performs better than cromolyn. Yeah, I think quercetin, I know when people have the environmental, like pollen and all the outside allergies, they use nettles, the combination of nettles and quercetin, which really is very helpful as well. So that's also a good way to look at it. Luteolin, luteolin, luteolin. It's another flavonoid. Parsley, celery, thyme, certain peppers, chamomile. And this laboratory and animal research only, and strong human mass specific evidence still lacking, but it's supposed to be helpful for mast cell signaling, kind of supports it. Taking a supplement, I don't know, but adding parsley, adding celery, if you think about our friend from the medical medium, hold on, I got to get his book really fast for you guys. This book is amazing and helpful. He said in terms of mast cell. I didn't up in my research. But I would tend to believe he's going to say celery juice. Yeah, I mean, you know what I like about him? What I like about what I like about this guy is that, let's see if he says anything about mast cell. He doesn't. Let's see if he says anything about histamine. What I like about him is if he's saying it and everybody's saying no, yes, of course I will. And he doesn't and you know, the rest of the world is like, oh, be careful with that guy. I don't know. I tend to want to try everything he says because when you read his books, yes, is he over the top? Yes, but this guy, I'm going to use a but. He's got great information and usually very good. And everything he talks about is he doesn't have anything about mast cell. That's a bummer. That's a bummer. Oh, he does have SIBO in here. That's interesting. But everything he does, he says celery juice, cleanse to heal. I love his book. His book's great. This book is fabulous. And everything is celery juice. Now, I mean, I would say to you, try celery juice in the morning on an empty stomach after you drink a glass of water, you know, before you eat anything. Try it. Now, don't drink 25 ounces or a liter or 2 cups. Drink 2 ounces of celery juice. Then drink 4 ounces of celery juice. Do you know what I'm saying? Go slow. See how your body is affected by it, you know? Vitamin C, what it does, supports antioxidant, defense, collagen production, immune function, wound healing, iron absorption. The histamine connection is where research has explored relationships between vitamin C status and circulating histamine. It doesn't say it's a treatment. It just says it's worth noting that citrus is rich in vitamin C, also reports a trigger for some, but both can be true. So, you know, explore using vitamin C. You've got broccoli, cabbage, kiwi, certain berries, bell peppers, leafy greens. Yeah, like George's aloe. Yeah, exactly. Turmeric and curcumin for its anti-inflammatory, obvious. Ginger, warmth. You know, you can put it in rice. It could, now, if you have reflux, be careful. You just subscribe? Good, Kath. You're gonna like him a lot. Omega-3 fats. What they support? Cell membranes, brain health. I mean, it's really, to me, the basic vitamin. You're done. I got no more food. Get lost. Go lay down. It really, it's all the same list. Like, to me, these are multivitamins. Everybody who's on the standard American diet, everybody who's feeling not so good, everybody that, you know, all of these things are pretty much standard. I wouldn't be traveling through the world without them, you know? Vitamin D. Get your sunlight in the morning, but you might need a little bit of a supplement. And then magnesium, right? Now, it's often marketed as a mast cell stabilizer. I don't know. I can't say it is or it isn't. It is on the list of things to try. I mean, it might help sleep. It might help your stress level. You know, pumpkin seeds, chia, oats, whole grains, leafy veg, things like that. Herbs, natural antihistamines. I don't like anything that suppresses. I like things that support, right? So when you go to the store and you get Claritin or any of those crazy over-the-counter, what do you call them? I can call them medications. Pharmaceutical antihistamines. I don't know. I mean, it may be in a very acute stage. They're good. I'm not a doctor. You have to work with your doctor. But for me, histamine supportive modulating compounds like quercetin, lutein, vitamin C, curcumin, ginger, all of those things, to me are so much better. You know, to me, lemon balm tea, stinging nettle, chamomile, right? Lemon balm, supplements, DAO, and probiotics, one at a time. Always add one at a time. When I was healing Meniere's, she had me on 15 different things. Eating your alphabet, B, C, D, yeah, exactly.
Let me catch you. Stop moving.
Okay. I mean, he's breathing heavy. What's going on? Okay. I'm sorry. He comes first. That's because they're used to you. They're used to their aunties now being here. All right, so you guys get it, one at a time. This is all on you. Unfortunately, it's not one of those things that I can say download this packet and follow what's there because and you'll feel better. This is more download this packet and use it as your sort of investigatory tool, right? Yeah, exactly. So you know what I'm saying? Like, make sure that you're investigating. You have to keep the journal. You have to look at what works for you. I just simply put all this information in one place for you and sort of added the information. Now, I did put a section in here about probiotics, and honestly, my research said very conflicting. You know, some microbial strains and metabolites may interact with mast cells, and you know they're still trying to understand it. So you know, tread lightly. In the naturopathic and functional medicine, probiotics are viewed as a possible tool for supporting gut health and immune balance in people with mast cell. However, they're not considered universal solutions. So again, you have to work with your doctor. I wouldn't self-medicate with probiotics until you had somebody that really understood them and the connection to mast cell. And I find that a lot of the research that I did seems to be the same thing. You have to connect with a doctor that really understands. Now, I would feel comfortable myself saying to you, I can do the food. If you come to me and you say, and this is where I excel, right? I do one-on-ones and I say, okay, this is all the information I need. Cultural, ethnic background, blood type, food sensitivities, all your diagnoses, whatever is going on in your being. And then I sit down. Yeah, I know, that's what I'm thinking, Lauren. You know, and then I sit down and I kind of put all that together and I just talk to you about food. And I say, okay, this is what I see. This is what it's sort of intuitive, sort of, you know, science. I do a little bit of all of it. We have an hour conversation and then I put together recipes that work for you that say, okay, this is what I think would work for you. And I give you breakfast, lunch, dinners, all of those things. And you can book that in the link in my bio at Stan. And then you'll know, I mean, it's like a freaking baby. He just can't, he's got so much anxiety today. He's like really shaky. So you see what I'm saying? Like, I think this is a great little packet if you need my help. I am totally here for you. You can book some time with me. I think they're like an hour, and then it takes me a week or to 10 days, and then you get this packet, this giant packet specific to you with all kinds of recipes, all the things we talk about. And it's very helpful. And then you have to do the work. You know, one of the things the naturopath said to me, she's like, I could tell you all the supplements, all the food and everything, but you know, if you're working with me, you got to do the work. You know, it's up to you. And most of you guys all know that, you know. Thank you for my hearts. We did 100. We're almost there. Yay, we got to tap it out. Share the live, repost, keep that chat rolling. We have 70. Look, that's all we need to do. Let's see what we need in the I got to put you down for a minute, buddy. Want to take a nap? Want to go sleep? Mm-hmm. Some practitioners prefer starting with specific single strains, and I listed them for you. You know? Yes, follow, like, drop your heart, me, all the things. Some probiotics and fermented foods increase symptoms, right? Because they have inulin, FOS, GOS. So you gotta tread lightly, and you gotta work with somebody that understands. So I gave you sort of all of these things to look at, to understand, to go through. Oh, it's getting late. Stress in the nervous system. I mean, it goes on. I gave you the... Go ahead, go lay down. Go lay down. Lay down. Sit. Good boy, lay down. Lay down. Okay, good boy. Stay. Good boy. You know, sleep, regular meals, a system, calm, meditation, sunshine, all the things to get you calm enough to figure it all out. That's what we're looking to do, right? You know, for me, current mass diagnosis, you know, symptoms, all those things, you know, I don't know how many medications they throw at people. I have no idea. But for me, I think the kitchen pharmacy is really important. Obviously, it plays a strong role in mast cell because so many triggers happen. And what I did here is I gave you the functional medicine approach. I explored naturopathic, Chinese medicine. What does it mean to be part of that? And then where all the healing perspectives kind of work together. And where they all seem to meet is there's no single mast cell activation syndrome sort of presentation, right? There's no single way to heal this. It has to be intuitive to your body. The pattern recognition, what repeatedly precedes symptoms. Across all healing practitioners, they all say the same thing. You gotta figure out the patterns. Trigger reduction. Once you figure out the pattern, you wanna reduce as many symptoms as possible. You don't have control of the environment as much outside of your home, but inside, what we wear, what we use for cleaning, what we cook with, what we put in our bodies, we have control over. So in that way, we can figure it out. Adequate nourishment, right? What are we putting in our bodies for food? What's gonna help us heal? Let's go, OFM. Yay. All right. Digestive support, stress and sleep, medical safety. So, and then the whole person, right? And I think from conventional medicine to TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, they all sort of follow that same healing perspective. They do it in different ways, but they all have come to the same conclusion. So when I do the research, what comes out for is this group of things. So if you follow this group of things, you're going to have a lot of answers by the time you find a doctor. And by the time you get an appointment with one of these doctors, you have enough information in this packet to understand your being and what, thank you, Melanie, and what you're doing. Because I give you a lot of trackers, a lot of ways to get your information down on paper. So for me, the Kitchen Pharmacy Foundation becomes safety first, right? Medical evaluation, no emergency warning signs, all of those things. Then understand nourishment, right? That's your next foundation. Eat enough. Eat good protein. I mean, I don't know what the hell is wrong with this dog today. It's freaking me out. Carbohydrates, supportive fats, tolerated plants, all those things, right? Then you want to look at freshness. You know, remember what we talked about? Cook, cool, freeze. Identifying repeated triggers. Support the gut gently. And then support your nervous system. That's your sleep, your mood, your meals, your hydration. And then consider targeted support. Find your doctor, find the practitioner that you trust, get the right supplements going, all of those things, right? And eventually you're gonna be able to, you know, come back. And then I gave you a way to build your kitchen, right? How to put your, you know, read ingredient list, eating from home and traveling. You'll have all that information. You have a low histamine builder and a day in a life. And that's all of those recipes. I gave you a day in the life of building, you know, a low histamine diet based on generic information, right? And we did one today. You got lunch ideas, you got snack ideas. I gave you a bunch of recipes. And then here's all your work. Reintroduction for your personal trigger journal and your personal trigger journal. So you have a symptom journal, what you ate, how you act. So it kind of helps you put it all into perspective. Kimberly, I have one of those. I haven't used it in a long time. Very good. It's just, I don't have a 2-hour one. They finish it in the first 10 minutes, but not a bad idea. Maybe like halfway through. Oh, please drink the water. Then you have questions for your healthcare, your personal kitchen pharmacy plan. So you're set. This is a very good tool for you to really get a handle on mast cell. Good idea. Thank you. I'm going to do that. Any questions for you guys? I kind of like this. I hope this helped. I hope it wasn't confusing. Lauren, how did I do? Is this a good base? Is this a good baseline? I didn't get into all the levels. Maybe we could do that, like, you know, all the things that you were talking about. But I always think that when I think about mast cell, and we're going to do FODMAP next week, it's a lot of great, I mean, I only did like, almost like the outline, but I think what we have to take away from mast cell is it's individual. You know, so you have to get to a point where you understand your own body and what works and what doesn't. For any health issue. That's how it's going to work, right? That's kind of my food philosophy. How does your body work? It doesn't work like mine. I don't work like yours. You know what I mean? Leaves room for part 2 and beyond. Yes. Yes. All right, my friends, I'm hitting the road. I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow we are 100% in the kitchen cooking all day. So get ready, Freddie. Woo. I hope you have a great day. Hope you learned something. Don't forget, did we get 5 followers today? No, we got 4. 2 hours and 33 minutes. I need 1 more follower just so that we get it. That's the base. Come on, baby. You've been sitting here all day. Come follow me. It's free to follow. It's free to follow. We need, wait, come on. Let's build our family. We need followers. Let's go. Let's go. Tapping. Tapping's free. Let's go. Let's go. Mine. Have a nice day, Melinda. Come on. We need one more person. That's it. I got 34 people in here. I bet you're not all following me. Let's go. I'm going to guilty pleasure you. Come on. Oh, I see there's 15 people not really following. If you loved it, if you learned something today and you haven't followed, just drop that follow. It's free. Hi, Jude. Gotta run. Bye, my love. Nice to see you. Have a beautiful day, Kath. Thank you, everybody, for being here today. Thanks for the love and support and good stuff. Following is free. Tapping away. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you all for being here today. Appreciate it. I hope that you learned something. Don't forget to check out the recipe vault. It's super helpful. I know when I get off of here, I'm going to see 5 new people in the recipe vaults taking over their health. Thank you, my friends. Thank you. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate all the help and love. Don't forget to follow. Don't forget to